7 or 8 flights, and an Aerostar, which counts as like 3 or 4 flights in itself. My name is Matt Simmons. I work with Jack pretty extensively down at John Wilson's shop. A lot of you guys know John. Jack kind of took in the places where I wasn't there. So when I wasn't there, Jack was there. And it was an interesting experience getting to see this old guy kind of kick John around a little bit. But I'm just going to introduce people. I'm not going to talk very long. First off, we're going to, in the spirit of a drag race, we are going to have an invocation, and John Foster is going to do that for us. So I'll introduce him now.
Thank you, man. As Matt said, the staple of auto racing is a pre-race invocation, during which is a blessing for safety of the driving competitors. And Monica is asking to come with a few words to honor Jack's passion for life, racing, Spruce Street, flying, and friendship. So with some help from my wife, here it goes. I found a short verse that I felt would be appropriate for this occasion. Because I have loved life, I shall have no sorrow to die. I have sent up my gladness on wings to be lost in the blue of the sky. If you feel comfortable, would you please stand up, please? Thank you. Heavenly Father, we come to you today to give thanks for the life of our friend Jack, a loving husband, father, and dear friend to so many people. We thank you that his life was full of blessings, friends, and love. We pray for everyone who feels the loss of Jack's company. May the memories held in our hearts fill us with joy. We pray for Monica and the children. May they feel your love and comfort as they continue with their lives that Jack would so have wanted. May the emptiness of their grieving be softened with the memories of Jack's ability to have fun, live life to the fullest, and share his kindness and love. We ask you to always protect his fellow pilots, who together with Jack know the feeling of exhilaration as we slip the surely bonds of earth and dance the sky on laughter's silver wings. Please can we have a moment of silence for the author of Jack in your honor. Thank you. I just want to say that, Jack lived 82 years, and that's quite a life. But to those closest to him, it is never enough. He will do this. Fellow creatures and guests in Jack's memory, fly safe, look out for one another, and as the paint job of Jack's airplane would typify, God bless you, God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Where are you at? Oh, there you are. I'm going to say your name wrong, right? Shefke? Ben Shefke? Close enough. All right, I only know you as Dinge, even though I lived here for a long time. So, Dinge and Jack met here in Spruce Creek. Apparently, when you have owned an Aerostar and an Aerostar lands, kind of attracts your attention. So that's how you guys met, right? Yeah.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here to say a few words in memory of Jack. Jack was a very close friend to most of us, and he who is remembered lives on in our hearts. I got to know Jack when I visited Spruce Creek 7 or 8 years ago, and when I was at a restaurant called Caribbean Jack's, I came across a t-shirt that said, "You don't know Jack." He wore almost as an invitation or a challenge for people to get to know him. Jack was a superb race car driver, the drag race champion, fearless, and if you Google his name, you'll see pages and pages of attributes to him and his accomplishments. But he was really not advertising that too much. He was very humble about it. Know Jack was to love him, to enjoy his friendship, and most of all, to laugh with him. He had a laughter that you could recognize from very far away, and distinct laughter. It was a lot of fun to be with. He was also very knowledgeable, especially with Aerostars. He had every part of an Aerostar you could imagine, Whenever I needed it, I came here. Always know where it was. He and I were part of the two-flight racer team of Aerostars. We had a lot of good times together. He enjoyed flying, especially in formation. But he wasn't really a follower. He forged his own path. One time when we were flying to Flagler for lunch, I got clearance from the tower for a 1 mile initial left turn for a flight of 2, and I got approved for that. And as I started my turn, I saw Jeff on downwind. I didn't ask him how long I had been flying by myself. People who love Jack really loved him a lot. And one person who loved him an awful lot was his mechanic Nelson. When Jack needed a kidney, Nelson donated one of his kidneys. An amazing act. Whereas Nelson gave Jack his kidney, we all gave Jack our hearts. He's an awesome good friend. I know that wherever he is, he's still looking up at the sky and taking joy in watching us fly. And I wanted you to see what that looked like. Somewhere here. Jack, we love you. We will never forget you. Clear skies, tailwinds, stay with us forever. You're always with me when I fly in the Aerostar. Thank you.
All right, our next person who actually wanted to speak was Jimmy Mullen. Jimmy and Jack met at an Aerostar convention in 1995.
Not sure I can do it. Very good. I'm sorry. I really wish I could.
That's okay.
Okay, that's good.
Didn't forgotten on this.
Dan, is that you? All right. Mom says she's going to say a couple words now. If she can. You can? All right. You got to kind of eat this thing.
I promised Ditmars starts with the right on ways to say, so, and give it to her in advance so she could read it in case I wasn't able to get through it. And I tried to write things down for Jack, and it just sounded so weird about his accomplishments, which are many. And I've got pages of it here. And it came down to what were people asking me the most or telling me the most when they saw me, finally. And it was always about his smile and his laugh and his, he loved people. So I decided that that's the part I'm going to speak about today too, just like Dinge did. It's sad that his son couldn't be here. He's caregiver for the mother. I'm happy that his daughter Cindy and her husband Bob are here with us. And Nelson, God, we thank you every day for Nelson. Thanks to the kidney donation, Jack was untethered for another 14 years to enjoy that Aerostar. So I'm going to speak more on the Aerostar because that's our latest adventure. We had many through our life. And slowly we had to put aside some of them, the boating, the motorcycle, but always we had the Aerostar. We did own it for 26 years. We traveled all over the country in it. We called it this magic carpet. And every once in a while he'd just turn to me and say, Mom, it's time for a magic carpet ride. And I'll say, well, where are we going? I don't know. Let's go somewhere. And he'd be like, oh, the sales tax is due, and let me look, and oh, Okay, you know, how could you resist when you smile like that? So I itched to go, so it was a life well lived. He suffered with a lot of illnesses and hardships that people wouldn't have been aware of, but he got through them all. I'm going to just tell one short story at one of our, well, two actually. One about darts, where we met a lot of people. And one of the pictures you're going to see on the board here is my darts that I threw, where I got 2 bullseyes. I think it's the only time I was able to win anything, because he had such an eye and such a good way with anything he tried. But he had just had shoulder surgery, so the other story is, you know, we used to tailgate at a tree a lot, especially when our house was torn apart for so long. And I remember one time when Leash was there, and our plane was on the ramp, ready to go, or it just landed, I don't know which one. And she saw the clamshell door open, and she come over and she said, I've got to tell Bob, that's the stairway to heaven. She said, I want the stairway to heaven. It certainly was for us, I'll tell you. So thank you to all the people that have helped me the past few months. The list is long, it'll take 2 seconds. Walt, Bonnie, and people that flew the formation. I better start with them. Steve Wood, Ted Chang, Greg Ryan, Craig, Jeff Edwards for his leadership and allowing us to be in the gaggle flight. We had a blast. I mean, it's something, just like Dinge said, the last thing you would expect him to try is something that required teamwork like that. But he gave it a shot, and I thank you, Dinge, for accommodating that desire. So, yes, Walt and Bonnie, now back to my list of helpers, helping with the tool sale, helping Jimmy Mullen with the Aerostar and the Aerostar parts, and unfortunately I didn't put the page, but Ken Hall, and there were many of you, Dale and Ken, especially, no, I'm just kidding. Down here, that's the problem. So, anyway, so thank you so much, and thank you for coming out. I'm sorry this couldn't have been an outdoor event. They're all prepared with the patio doors we're supposed to have been open, and the hangar doors, so thank you for your tolerance. Anybody else would like to speak? Feel free.
Anybody else who wants to say something? What's your name?
People always say Jeff always has something to say. And I think it's really important for those of us here at Spruce Creek to know what Jack was like in drag racing. I followed drag racing for the last 30 years, back when they broke 270 miles an hour, and now they're doing almost 340. And Jack raced, as you can see, the car in the lower right-hand side. He raced alters, and he was national champion in that. And the story is, and I used to tell Jack, I don't know what kind of driver you were, but you survived alters. You didn't kill yourself in the car. And that meant you really know what the heck you were doing. And like I said, we went over to the Gator Nationals, which just happened here a week or so ago. We went there a couple of years ago with Jack. And I always knew Jack was a drag racer, and I figured, people knew who he was and stuff like that, but I didn't know anything, about the past history of the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. And we're sitting in the grandstands, and people walk up to Jack with a black and white picture of his car and get Jack to sign his picture. Wow. Just people that barely just knew who he was, and I'm sitting next to him, I don't know what his accomplishments, these people that want the drag racing people knew for sure. Plus, he's in the Hall of Fame of the drag racing as well. And I'll just tell one story. We somehow it got to the point where Jack and Mo and my wife Jennifer and I started going to Garlic together. And Jack's N number on his Aerostar was N111 Charlie Q. Everybody, I never knew to think of that or what was going on. But the guy who parks the car, Jack has his shirt on with his hand number on his shirt, and he walks up and goes, "I know who you are. You're Nick with 3 eyes."
Anyone else? It's not that bad out here. There's a lot of eyes in that shit. Oh, you gonna say something? Alright. I guess that's allowed.
It's kind of funny, when Jack first came here, both of us, like me, really didn't know much about him. He raced cars, that's all I knew, and one Tuesday night I was at darts, and Jack was sitting in Bolter Row watching us all make fools of ourselves, and so I had the chalk on the next game to put names on, who's gonna play against each other. So I turned around and I looked, and he was sitting in the front row. I didn't know Jack was a hill of beans. I mean, I knew he drag race, and I talked to him a couple of times, but he never said anything. So I looked at him, and he goes, so I went up there and I put the chalk, I wrote 1/4 mile Jack. So he comes up and he taps me on the shoulder, and he says, "Well, Larry," he says, "it's not 1/4 mile." I said, "What do you mean?" I said, "I raced my 1955 Ford at a racetrack, and it was 1/4 mile." He said, "The cars I drive," he says, "we can't stop at 1/4 mile."
Mark? Mark's gonna say something. Good afternoon.
This is extraordinarily difficult. I live right next door. And when the previous owner died and his wife moved away, I wondered who was going to move in, because, you know, it's always a problem potentially. And turns out that somebody tells me there's a guy named Jack Ditmars, and he's famous. I looked him up and said, "Holy crap." Crap is my cleaned up version, what I would say. So I looked him up and I realized this guy was somebody. I didn't know anything about racing, but I realized he's somebody. And I became nobody, which is fine with me at this point. And later on, somebody on my other side moves in. That was Alto Reed. He was famous. Now we're really nobody. But Jack and I became close friends. I also became his nightmare as things got worse for him, because I wouldn't accept the fact that he was gone. I wouldn't allow him to even think about it. And I made him, went into the house every day, every other day. He wouldn't let me in every day. And I got him up and I made him walk him down the taxiway. Some of you may have seen this in He was such a special guy. He complained to me, but I wouldn't listen to him. I made him walk. Because I knew that if he stopped, he'd fail. And at the end, the trouble was that, like so many people we all know, they get isolated by what's happened to this world over the last year. And that, for me, remained a tragedy, that he was alone. Look at this room, look around you, look how many people loved him, and Jack, like so many, was alone at the end, and that infuriates me. He was a special guy, always. This is who I remember. And I think it's a tribute to who he was that everybody sees, and we're all going to miss him.
Anybody else want to say anything?
I don't know if I thank Dale and Ken Myers for all the work they did helping me.
Dale and Ken Myers.
Yay.
You want to come up and talk about the missing guy? Yeah.
Hi, folks. I think I know just about everybody in here except for the visitors
Jack, we have 26 airplanes. It's going to be led by the Aerostar, and then it's going to be followed up by the red flight, which is one flight. We're going to do a missing man formation, which I'm going to tell you about in a minute. One of the toughest things about doing one of these is that we abort the weather, but we don't get to do it. We've already done all the planning and everything except the final brief, and then we just don't do it. She just walked in, she was going to bring a paper I gave her this morning, which is the lineup, and right here, just to give you an idea of what we do. This is in handwriting, but that's the lineup for the flight today. And this is a document that we use to read to tell everybody what to do and how to do it, where they're supposed to be at the appropriate time. So we'll go through all of this drill, and then we don't get an opportunity to do it, but we've gone through the review. So anyway, the final thing is the missing man formation. And we do the missing man formation, which is an old military tradition, and it kind of gives closure to these things. And the way that works is we fly a flight of 4, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4. And we come over the crowd, and number 3 pulls. In our case, he has smoke, and he goes to the west, meaning he's gone west. The missing man formation is an old tradition, goes all the way back to World War I. And how it started was the flights would return from a mission, and if they lost somebody, they would be in formation and they'd leave a slot open, because they had no radios in those days. And so they'd come back and a flight of 4, there would be 3 of them, one slot open, they know that somebody was missing. So that would have been the tree, that would be the final thing you would have seen today. Now what we're going to do is, last time we tried this, it didn't work very well, so I'm going to try to show you this on the screen. We always play taps, which takes a minute, and then that takes time. So when the tap starts, we're a minute out, and just as it closes, number 3 man pulls out, goes to the west. Okay, Bobby, let's see if you can make this happen.
Nancy, do you think I should read that? Okay, there's been a request.
All right. You need your request, let me take your request. No, really? Then you get interested.
I told you, I'm channeling Jack, there's no need of public speaking. So anyway, every year we attend the zero-star conventions, and every year at the beginning they offer courses for the companions, and to teach you basically how to land a plane if your pilot's disabled. Every year I would attend the courses, and finally they reached a point where they have a laminated checklist, follow sheet, based on your type of Aerostar, because there were different types, of course. So I had all that. Well, Jack looked at it, and it just wasn't quite right to him. So he says, I'm going to write you a checklist. I said, Jack, I already have it. I've been studying this way for a long time, and I've got it right in my seat beside me, and that's what I'm going to use. So he spent hours coming up with this. His handwriting is atrocious. This is him rewriting it at least 3 times so I could read it, because I was supposed to type it. So finally, he whittles it down to 1 page. Because when you can't be flipping through a book when you're having emergency. So he whittles it down. I go in the other office, and I have to take a ruler under each line because it's so tightly written. So I'm going typing line by line, and I get down to these lines, and I stop and I say, "Are you kidding me?" And he's up in the kitchen area, and he's like, "What? I said, "Are you serious?" Anyway, I'll tell you now what he said. This checklist now has gotten me on the taxiway. I have landed, and he declares that now I am a pilot. Go to the ramp and park. Mixtures aft, masters off. Now, you decide to save me or let me fly away. Your choice. You are and you'll always be the love of my life. The best to you going forward, my love. I hope you never need this, but in case you do, we did it together because that's what we do, you and me. This is my checklist. I told him, I said, if I believed you weren't going to make it, I wouldn't bother trying to save you today. I was waiting for the trees, so I gotta believe you're going to pull through. I'm not going to have this choice of letting you leave. So anyway, that's the end of it.
All right. All right, thank everybody for coming. There's an open bar over here with alcohol. There's beer outside. Food is back there where all those. See where all the guys are? That's where the food is, right? Monica, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. And remember, Jack, I'm going to put the pictures back up here and turn some music on. Thank you guys.